I'll start freshly. So what I was talking about is the dictionary. A dictionary is something, a collection of key value pair. It will be created like this. There is a key and value, right? And you can see a type of dictionary using a type function, type of D. It will tell you, and it is a dict. Dict stands for dictionary. If you wanted to print entire dictionary, you can say print D. If you wanted to print one element, you definitely use a key, right? You can't use an index because it is not an index, right? So you can say print D of ID. If you want to print last element, key is a name, so we can say print D of name. So this way you can print it. Let's run this now. You can see the result, right? So the type it is showing as a dict, and these are the entire dictionary which we have, and this is the first element which we print ID, and then this is the name, right? This way you can print. Now you can access the element like this. You can access the element like this, and also there is one more way to access the element is using a method called as get. See, when I say method or a function, it is one and the same. It is one and the same. So it provides dictionary provides one method called as get. It provides one method called as get, which will help us. One second. So this will provide a method called as an get method. So which will help us to get the value of particular key, right? Value of particular key. Let's take an example. I can say now D. From where I want to get the data? From dictionary. What I wanted to get some key value, right? What is the key? Let's take an example. This time I want to give age, right? So D dot get of what? Age. So I will print this now. I'll print this, right? So this way also you should able to access the value of a particular key, right? Let me close it and run this again so that the result will come on top. You see here, age is 21, right? So I hope you are understanding. One way to access is D of key. Another way is D dot get of key. So this will give you whichever the value you wanted to get it for any keys, right? For any key, right? Clear, right? So next thing is I can modify the elements right here. Value of particular key. I can modify the value of particular key. Again the same thing. Again using a key only. Let's take an example. I want to change the age. So I can say D of age. So what is the D of age at the moment? D of age is 21. I will modify it to 22. Now I am changing D of age. And when I print now, print entire dictionary, I will not have age 21 now because I went ahead and modified age to 22. So if I print D now, I will have the new result of an age. So which is nothing but 22. Now you see earlier age was 21. Now we modified it and updated it to the 22. I hope you understood, right? Another thing is this is all about how do we access the element and how do we modify the element into a dictionary, and how do we loop through this, right? Dictionary. Let's see and how do we loop through dictionary. When I say for I in, because loop means we will be using generally for loop, I say for I in D, and then I say print I. This time what it is going to print? It is going to print the keys, not all the things, like not a key value pair. It is just going to print the keys into this dictionary, ID, age and name. So if you are saying for I in dictionary D, then it is going to get only keys. Let's run this and see the result. You see here, it is printing only ID, age and name, right? So that means if you do this looping like this, it is going to give you only the keys. Now the question might be then, how do we get the values? For that you have to use one more loop. I'll show you. For loop I in, you have to say D dot values. So it will get all the values. From that value you are printing one by one. So if you say for I in D, it is going to give you only keys in a dictionary. But when you say D dot values, for I in D dot values, it is going to give you all the values. Let's run this and see. See here. First it has given all the keys and now it is giving only values. 122 and Raj. 122 and Raj. Right? But some of you might question here now that, sir, what if I want to get both? Right? So I want to get an key as well as value. Not just key or not just value. I want to get both. Right? I can use something called as an items. There is one function or a method called as an items in the dictionary. So I can say for I in D dot items. So D dot items will give you a key value pair. Will give you a key and value both. Now it has two things, right? So then I need two variables to get the data. So I can say I comma j. Right? So I will get a key and j will get a value from the items. Item is a key value. So I will get a key and j will get a value. Now you can print both. So I can say print I comma j. Let's run this. I hope you are seeing, but let me run one more time by closing it so that you can see on top. See here. First you printed for I in D, which has given only keys. Then you printed for I in D dot values. Then it has given only values. Later on you said like a D dot items. For loop I comma j in D dot items. It has given key and value. Key and value. I hope you got it. Right? Now next thing is like this is all about thank you. This is all about traversing through the loop. Like how do I traverse through the loop? Just to get the keys, just to get the values, or just to get both the things, keys and values. Right? Next is I will tell you is now one more thing is like how do I check whether particular key is there in the dictionary or not? Right? So I can simply say print, right? Again in operator. We can use an in operator, right? So I can say d dot and id, right? And I can say id in dictionary, right? Whether id is there in this dictionary. If it is there, it is going to print true. Otherwise, it is going to print false. So it printed true, but let me close this and run one more time. See here, it prints true, right? So this way we can print on whether particular key is there into a dictionary or not. What if I want to get a length of dictionary? Means how many key value pairs are there into this dictionary? How many total key value pair are there in this dictionary? I can say print, again same function in every single collection we have seen, right? We have seen in string, list, tuple, set, etc. len. Which function? len method, right? So length of d, len of d will give me how many elements are there into this, how many key value pair are there into this dictionary. So how many are there? 3. So it is going to print 3. So dictionary, right? So length will help us to get the length, how many key value pairs are there into this dictionary, right? So now let's talk about adding one item into this, right? If I wanted to add one item, what should I do, right? Whether I will be able to add particular key into this or not. So we can add one single item into this. How do I add it? And we can say is like you guys know, right? You have like a D dictionary, and I will have some key. I wanted to add some key into this. Let's take an example. I wanted to add roll number, right? Roll number, like this, roll num. I want to add roll num, and my roll num I will give it as an 1001, something like this. ID is there, but still I added roll number also into this now, right? So existing dictionary, in that I am adding one more key, which is nothing but roll num, and I am giving value as a 1001. Now if I print an D, hopefully I'll have that extra element, right? Let me close it out and run this. Now you see there is an extra element into a dictionary now, that is nothing but roll number, right? So you can add like this an element to an dictionary. Now what if I wanted to remove the element, right? There may be a question that what if I wanted to remove the element. When you wanted to add it, you add it like this, but if you wanted to remove, we can remove it, right? So we can use a pop method to remove an item, right? So now I can say d dot pop, but pop will need a name, because you guys know, right? I need some key now, right? Because everything is depends on the key, right? So I must need to specify some key which we wanted to remove. Let's take an example. I want to remove an ID. So this is the value which will go out from our dictionary now. So dictionary has these details, but ID I am trying to remove it. So pop will take here as a key, which key you wanted to remove, right? So then I will say here print a D, right? Print D. Now hopefully I will not have an ID into our dictionary. You see here ID is gone. Earlier there was an ID here, but now you don't see an ID. So remove. To remove the element we use a pop. Right? So you might be saying that okay, fine sir, then but I wanted to remove the last inserted item. This was in version before 3.7. Random item is removed. So let's see whether that works or not in the current version. But there was one method called as a pop item method, which removes the last inserted item. So let's see whether it works like this. So we have something called as a pop item. What is that? Pop item. Like a pop will take a key. Here I have a method called as a pop item. Pop item will try to remove the last inserted item. Let's see now. Item means key value pair. You guys know, right? I have shown you here. Item means key value pair. For loop I, j in d dot items, right? So it is a key value pair. I am trying to pop the last item. Let's say then I can use a method called as a pop item. Right, let's see what exactly it does. Let me close it out and run it. You see here, what was the last item here? Roll number. Last inserted item was roll number. Now you see there is no roll number. We have only age and name. Earlier we used pop ID. We have given a key to that pop function earlier, right? We have given here key, right? Pop and particular key. It has removed that key, and later on what we did is like I simply wanted to remove the last inserted item, then I just use pop item. What is the method? Pop item, right? So that way also I can remove it, right? Okay, right? Understood, guys? Understood? Now, and generally we have seen, right, and del, right? We have seen del. Yeah, thank you. We also have seen del to remove the element from collections, right? So let's see whether we can use del with a dictionary also. I can say d of what is remained into this hour is now age. So I can say d of age, right? D of age. Del d of age means what I am trying to do. I am trying to remove using a del age also from the dictionary, and then print d. So we use pop to remove the element. We use a pop to remove the element using a key. We use pop item. Now you are using del. Let's see this. Let me close it and run this. You see here, age is also gone here. So age is gone and only name is there now in my dictionary. Only name is there. I hope you understood. Right? I hope you understood this. Right? Now how many key value pairs are there in my dictionary? Only one key value pair. Only one key value. What if I want to clear this? I want to make it as this dictionary as a empty. I want to make this dictionary as a empty, then I have a function called as an clear. Clear will clear the dictionary. So let's print this now. My dictionary will be empty. My dictionary will be empty. Now run this. So my dictionary is empty. If you see that my dictionary is empty here. Let me scroll it down. You see my dictionary is empty. Earlier one item was there, but that is also removed. Now it is empty. So what is the function to do that? Clear. Method is clear. Clear to clear the dictionary. Right? Now what if you want to delete this dictionary from the memory completely? Then you can say del D. Del D. Delete it. Completely delete from the memory. Once you delete, you can't access, but if you clear it, you can access the reference. But if you delete it, you will not able to access it. You will not able to access. This will throw an error. This will throw an error. Yeah, you see here. It is throwing an error. Right? You can't do this. Right? You can't do this. This is not possible. It will say D is not defined because you have already deleted it. There is no D in a memory now. I hope you understood all these things. Understood? Understood? Right? So let me, let me comment out this and we'll see few more functionalities on this. Right? So we have a dictionary. Now let's talk about something else, right? So let's talk about how do I copy one dictionary into another. And the same way, you guys know, I will create one other dictionary D1. How do I do that, guys? You guys know that. Till now you have learned. How do I do that? D dot. How do I do that? Copy the dictionary. D dot. Copy. D dot copy. Right? So it will create another copy of that dictionary with a reference as a D1. So there are two copies of same dictionary now. So D and D1. So if I print a D also will have same value, and print D1 also will have same value, but these are the two different copies. And let's say print ID of D. ID of D. And then print ID of D1. Right, let's run this. You see here, so D is this and D1 is this. We have got a copy of D into D1, but you see the memory address for these two are different because these two are separate copy, not pointing to the same. Not pointing to the same. Understood, guys? Understood? Understood? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, memory location is different. Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Good, guys. Good, thank you. So the memory location for these two are separate, right? So that's the reason these are the copies of dictionary, right? So you can use equal to, right? You can use an equal to, but you know the problem of that, right? So let's take an example. I will say D2 equal to D1. D2 equal to D1, right? Now what will happen, we'll see. I will print a D2. It might have same element, right? It might have same element, but let's print an ID of D2. ID of D2. See here, right? You see here, ID of D2 and D1 is same. Is a same. Memory is the same for D2 and D1. Why? Because I say D2 equal to D1. This way it is not going to create the copy. Right? If you use the equal to sign, it is not going to create the copy. Rather it is pointing to the same memory where D1 is pointing. Where D1 is pointing. I hope you understood. I hope you understood that. You see here, D1's address is this, D2's address is also same. So it is not creating the copy, rather both the references are pointing to the same memory. Right? Clear guys? Understood? Understood? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Thank you guys.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Right? So, so then this is all about an dictionary, right? Uh, you can create a dictionary using a constructor also like this, right? I want to create something like this. I can say like D4, D2 I have used, so D3 equal to, I can say a dict, right? There is something called as a dict as a constructor, like we have list as a constructor, set as a constructor, like that same way I can have a dict. So I can give any information here, like, and I have take an example. There is a brand, brand equal to, let's take an example. I have a brand of an Ford, right? And then I can give any information, model equal to something like an Mustang, right? Right? And maybe an year, something like that. Year equal to some like 2020, something like this, right? So I am creating the dictionary. You see here, I don't need to give the key into a single quote. Here I don't need to give key into single quote. It will automatically, this function will do that. Constructor will do that. Now if I say print D3, print D3, it is going to print me a dictionary. So which will be into a curly braces. Which will be into a curly braces. You see here. You see here. This is what you got. Brand, for, model, and then year. Right? The constructor. Using in constructor. What is that? Dict. You can create a dictionary. You can create the dictionary. Understood, guys? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Super.
Yes, sir.
Very good, very good, very good.
Yes, sir.
Very good, very good,
Yes, sir.
very good. So that's all about the dictionary, guys. Any question, concern, please let me know. Any question here? I will stop for a minute. Any question on dictionary? Somebody is asking something on the chat. I am not able to see. That's what I'm saying. No question, right? Okay. So then let's have a quick introduction for next thing, guys, about an array. About an array. So I'll take another 10-15 minutes and we'll talk about an arrays, right? So let me close this and I'll open file, a new file. I don't need this file now, let me close it out. Okay, so this file will use it for an array, right? So how do I save it? And some name, some file name, and .py, some file name .py. Right, so like this we can save it. Okay. Now array. Array is what? Like we have seen. See, the Python has a very beautiful collection called as a list. So list is a collection of different data type. Though I say it is a collection of different data type, you can store a similar data type also into that, right? I can create a list of names. I can create a list of IDs. I can create a list of fees, or I can create a list of salaries. So if I say it is a collection of different data type, doesn't mean that I can't store similar data type. I can store it. So the list gives lot of flexibility. Hence we don't use arrays much into an Python. But what is an array? Array is a collection of similar data type. It is a collection of similar data type, right? So similar data type means you can create a collection of integers, or you can create a collection of floats, right? So it's a collection of similar data type. You can create a collection of similar data type. You can't have mixture of elements like you have into a list, right? In a list you can have a mixture of elements, right? So how do I create this then? To create an array, right, we definitely need to import one library or a model. We can call it as a model in a Python for a library. We must need to import that model, which will have certain functionality which we wanted to use it. So there are inbuilt model provided by the Python, right, which we need to import. Import means get the access of those model into our code or our file. So we have to use this key called as an import. What is the model name? It is called as an array. Import array. Array is a model. Model is nothing but one file which will have all the functionalities defined by the Python language. We are going to use this functionality in our code, in our file. To do that, we have to import that. You have to import that. So that's what we are doing. We imported that model now. I can use whatever the functionalities are there into this model now. So I want to create array. I want to name it as an A. I want to name it that array as a A, right? And I want to create. So which is the model name? Array. Array is the model name. From that I need to call dot. I need to say dot. I want to call the method called as an array or a function called as an array. From array module I am calling a function called as an array, which will help us to create an array. Now this array is a function which will have generally an argument or a parameter. The first parameter of this array will be what is the type of an array you wanted to create. Like type. Maybe it is an integer, maybe it is a float, maybe it is an whatever it is you wanted. That type of an array we have to mention. Second argument into this will be a list of elements. List of elements, right? So you might wanted to create an array of some elements. That list goes here. If you do not want to pass a list and then you are just giving an type, that means you are creating an empty array. Right? Of an integer, of a float or whatever the type. But you are creating integer. But if you wanted to create an array with some element, then give the list here. Hope you are understanding. Now ID, right? What is an ID is mentioned? It is mentioned with some format specifier. I'll talk about this later. But for an integer, it's there is a format specifier called as an I. Right? Similarly, you can use an float f, right? Like that, right? So there are different format specifiers for a different type, right? So like you can use an I for integer, L for long, or F for float, and D for double, etc. Right? So I am using an I, right? Integer I, right? So now I want to give a list. I don't want to create an empty array. I will create some elements like this, integers. So what I am doing, guys, here, I am doing is one thing is I am creating an array of an integers with an 5 elements or 4 elements actually. So I have given wrong 3, 4. So I am creating an array of 4 elements, right, which are of type integer, and the name given to that memory is A. This is a reference. Right? Now how I did it? Because first I imported this model, and that from that model I called the function called as an array. Now how do I print it? I can just simply say print A. We are supposed to print our array. Let's print it. Right? You see here it is an array which is of type integer, and how many elements it is printing? 4 elements. Right? So clear? Right? Let's take an example. I will add one different element into this. Right? I will say 5.5. 5.5 means what I am adding, guys? I added integer also as a float. Let's see now what it says. It will throw an error. Why? Because it says integer argument expected but got a float. Because you are saying that I am creating an array of integer, but in the list you are trying to give an element float also. So since array is a collection of similar data type, it will not work. You can create an array of integers or you can create an array of float. Only one type. You can't create a mixture of like a list. If you want to do that, go for a list. Now how do I access single? See, array is an index, right? So I will remove this. This will not work. Now how this is stored in a memory? It is indexed. So it is indexed like 0, 1, 2, 3. Starting with 0. 0, 1, 2, 3. Index. Minus also reverse. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. Since it is indexed, you can access the element using an index. How do I do that? Print A of 0. What is the memory name? A. What is the index I want to access? 0. A of 0. So what is the A of 0? First element from this is 1. So it should print 1. See, it is printing 1. Last element I want to print. I can use forward index or backward index, whichever you want to use it. I will use this time backward index is nothing but minus 1. Minus 1. Right? So you can print this way. The minus 1. So it is printing 4. Last element. Last element from an array. Understood, guys? How do I access an element? How do I access an element? Now what if I want to access the multiple element from this? So it's less simple. Let's use an range slice operator. Right? Range slice. For let's take an example. I want to print first 3 elements. Only first 3 elements. So index will start from 0. 1, 2. 0, 1, 2 only I have to print. Then last index will be 4. Right? So index will start from 0 because I want to print first 3 elements. So I have to start with 0. 0, 1, 2. But 2, if I give 2, 2 will be excluded. So I will give 3. So it will cover up 0, 1, 2. So it will print first 3 elements from my array. Let's see this. You see here, it printed first 3 elements. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Understood, guys? Understood. Right? And there is a way, like if I say print A of empty. A of the starting index is empty, end index is empty. You guys know. If it is empty means starting index will be 0. If it is the end index is empty means it is going till the end. It is going till the end. So it will print entire array. It will print entire array. So it will print entire array. Understood? Right? So I hope you are getting it, guys. I hope you are getting. Right? Now I can change the elements. Right?
Yes, sir.
So, thank you. So I can change the element of this array. Let's take an example. First one I wanted to modify with 1, I wanted to modify with 5. I wanted to modify with 5. So how do I do that? Access that. How do I access it? A of 0. A of 0 is what now? 1. A of 0 is 1. I want to change that with some other value, 5. I'll give 5. It is possible. It is possible. Now let's print it. Print an array. So what will happen now? 1 will be replaced by 5. 1 will be replaced by 5. Let's run this. You see here, 1 is replaced by 5 now. Now there is no 1 into this array. The latest array. It has only 5. It has only 5. Right? So this is to change one element. This is to change one element. What if I wanted to change the multiple elements? Now my list was having what? 5, 2, 3, 4. This is what it was having, correct? This is what it was having, right? Where is the screen? You see here. My array has what? 5, 2, 3, 4. Let's take an example. I want to change these 3 elements. Last 3 in single shot. I wanted to update it with different value. Earlier I changed only first element. Now I want to change this last 3 also. Let's take an example. I want to change this 2, 3, 4 with 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. So how do I change it? What is the index of this? 0, 1. 1 to what? 1, 2, 3 means I have to go till 4. 1 to 4. Right? So what I want to change? A of 1 to 4. 1 to 4. Starting index and end index. I am giving a range. These I wanted to change. Change means change with different values. So I need to create a small array, one more array. So how do I create an array? Array dot array. Array is a model. From that model I am creating, I am calling array method. This is the array model, and from that array method is called, and type of array is definitely integer because you wanted to modify integer, and I need to give the list. I need to give the new list. Now I want to replace this 2, 3, 4 with 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. 6, 7. You see here, I created the small array of elements 6, 7, 8 and I am replacing that with this A of. In the A array I am replacing this. So A of 1 to 4, 1 to 4 is nothing but 2, 3, 4, which is replaced by 6, 7, 8. Now print A. Print A. Run this. You see here. So 2, 3, 4 is replaced by 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. I hope you understood. Replacing one element and replacing multiple element. Replacing one element is like this. Replacing multiple element is get the range and provide a next array, new array, which you want to modify. Right? So I hope you understood. Now another thing. Now my latest array has only 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now let's talk about how do I add the element to this array. So I can do that. How do I append it? I can append it, right? So A is my array. I have a function called as an append to append the element at the end. Append. Array dot append. I wanted to append 9, right? Because now already I have 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now appended 9. So it will go ahead and add 9 at the end of this array. So let's print this. So print A. So if you print A now, what it is going to print? Let's see. So it is going to print 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 because it appended 9 at the end. 9 at the end. You might say like this is the one number you want to append, you can use append function. A dot append some element, it will append at the end. What if you wanted to append multiple elements at the end of an array? So you can say A dot extend. What is the function? Extend. Extend. Now you want to extend with multiple elements, right? So let's take an example 10, 11, 12. 3 elements. Extend is helpful for adding multiple elements to an array. Adding multiple elements to an array. Append will be helpful to add only one element. Extend will help to add multiple elements. Right? So let's print it now. Print A. Print A. So let's run this. You see here. So there are multiple elements added to this now. 10, 11, 12. In single shot. In single shot. I hope you understood. Extend. This is extend. Right? Extend. Right? Append and extend. Now let's understand. I have 2 arrays. I want to join those 2 arrays. How do I do it? I want to join those 2 arrays. How do I do it? Let's take an example. I'll comment out this now. So till now I will comment it out. Right? So I have, let's take an example, E1 array. E1 equal to, how do I create an array? Array dot array. Right? Array dot array and then give the type. So I am lazy and also will save the type. I'll just copy. So E1, array of even numbers I will create. Just 2, 4 and 6. 2, 4 and 6. So this is the even array. At the same way we can create an odd array. Odd numbers, array of odd, right? I will say here odd, right? And then it will have odd numbers 1, 3 and then 5. These are the 2 arrays. Now I wanted to create an joining these 2 arrays. I want to join these 2 even and odd array. Now when you wanted to join, result also must need to be stored in 3rd array, right? Result also must need to be stored in 3rd array. So for that I need to create one empty array. I need to create one empty array. So I will say array of numbers. How do I create empty array, guys? I have shown you in the beginning. Array dot array, right? And just give the type. Just give the type. And don't mention the list. This will create an empty array. This will create an empty array. I hope you understood. We have created empty array like this before also I have shown you. Don't give the list. It will create an empty array. Now to this empty array, I will say an empty array equal to E1 plus odd. E1 plus odd. That's all. So these 2 arrays will be added and stored into this using an plus operator, concatenation. concatenation of two arrays using an plus operator and creating the third array which will have elements of both. So let's take an example, print num now. Num should have all. See here, num has all now. 2, 2, 4, 6, 1, 3, 5. Right? Any question, guys? Any question? This is to so we have seen how do we create an array, how do I append, how do I access the array, how do I modify the array, how do I append the elements, one element at the end, how do I append multiple elements at the end. Then we have seen how do I join two arrays, right? Let's try to see, understand how do I remove the element from an array. Can I remove the element? If you can remove it, how do I remove the element from an array, right? Let me comment out this also, and let's run this after commenting, right? So let's understand how do I remove the element, right? So we have 5 minutes. So, right, exactly, right? So a dot remove, right? That is one way is to remove, right? So the remove, if you know the number which you want to remove, element which you wanted to remove, simply use a remove. Simply use a remove function, as someone has said already. A dot remove. Remove an particular element. Let's take an example 3. If I remove 3, it will remove the element 3 from an array. So now we will not have 3 into our array. It will have only 1, 2 and 4. 1, 2 and 4. Let's run this. You see here, it will have only 1, 2 and 4. You can remove using index also. How do I do that, guys? Del a of what? Let's take an example. I want to remove the first element. Then a of 0. Right? So the 1 also will be removed. So if you know the element which you wanted to remove, use function remove. If you know the index, use a of 0. Like this index. Right? So the print a. So it will have only 2 and 4 now. It will have 2 and 4. 1 also gone. Remove. Right? So there is a pop also. Pop will, but you have to give an index to the pop. Right? You can try that. If you want to try, you can try that. If you give the index, or let me show you. How many elements we have now? Only 1, right? Or 2. So we have 2 elements. I'll say a pop of an index 1. Right? So a dot pop. Index 1. When I say index 1, the first value also. We have now only 2 and 4. So 4 also will go. Right? Index 1 will go. So that now I will have only one element. Yeah, I will have only one element. That is 2. So 0, 1. 1 is gone. So only 2 will be there. So we have seen 3 methods to remove. One is the remove, del with an index, and pop with an index. Right, guys? Any doubt here? So we have seen an arrays, and how do we traverse?
Is it possible to sort?
Sorry.
Is it error something?
Sorry, your voice is not clear. Hello.
Sir, we can use logarithmic in creating an array between two numbers.
Are you guys able to hear him clearly?
No, sir. No.
Yeah, I think there is some. I don't know, my net is bad, or I'm not able to hear your question clearly.